People are logging in, jumping online, ready to start class today. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for the Heart. We're in the month of February 2026. We're working on heart openers, chest expansions, strengthening our upper back for good posture. So I really want you to think about your posture in each and every pose today. And that's specifically the shoulders slightly retracted back, the lats engaged, that position of the head in neutral. In every pose that we do, I'll reinforce that as we work on that. Option to have light weights with you today if you'd like to add that to your practice, and a yoga strap and a chair for balance. So we're just going to start with a breathing technique. I did this on Tuesday toward the end of class, and it's called the box breath. So I want you to think about a box. All four sides are equal, right? And so there's four pieces to the box breath. On the first the box, we inhale. On the top of the box, we hold the breath, we retain it. On the next side of the box, we exhale, and then coming across the bottom of the box, we hold the exhalation. And the rate of the breathing is up to you. It's about a count of maybe 2 or 3. So we'll just try that. And I'm going to add some arm movements to it today. So I'd like you to bring your arms to the front. As we inhale, open the arms, then retain the breath, hold, then exhale, arms down, retain and hold. So inhale, out and hold, exhale, and hold. Breathe in 2 or 3 counts, hold the same amount of counts, exhale the same duration, and hold. Let's do 3 more box breaths. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 2 more. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 1 more. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Good. Now I'd like to try that same breath technique with breath of joy. This is going to be difficult because we're used to taking 3 inhalations and an exhalation. So let's breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. 3 more. Breathe in, hold the breath, breathe out, hold. 2 more. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 1 more. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. So that box breath can be done through many movements, either quick or very slow. So I'm going to do 2 more rounds with breath of Joyce, but we're going to go very slow. Breathe in deeply. Hold the breath. Breathe out completely. Hold the breath. 1 more time. Breathe in deeply. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. Great job. Come on up. Let's start our lymphatic hops a little bit. Just bouncing up and down, shaking off any anxiety or stress, getting our mind connected to the body. That box breathing technique is great to use. It just helps to relieve anxiety and stress. So that should feel really nice to start your practice this morning. Okay, so let's bend our knees just slightly. And then I want you to just bring the arms forward and out, forward and out. Now start to kind of bounce the knees forward and out. So you're just doing kind of a rhythmic down and up with the legs as we're warming up the shoulders. Good. So I'm going to keep this little bouncing action with the legs as we start to change the arms into different patterns. So arms go in opposition. Good. And again, you're doing this at your own pace. So I'm moving from the shoulder here. Now I want to move from the elbows. Keep bouncing those legs. You should start to feel the body heating up here. Some nice work in the quads and glutes. Now let's work at the wrists. Right? Just the wrists. Down and up, down and up. Let's get 4 more of these. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right, now let's keep the legs going and swing the arms side to side in front of the body. Are your legs getting tired? If you need a break from that, come on up and take it. Now twist the body side to side. It's a little different from what we've done in the past few weeks, moving the legs through this. So if you need to keep your legs stable and twist, that's fine as well. Otherwise, keep bouncing it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, come up, just shake out the legs a little bit. I definitely felt that in the glutes. Okay, moving down in the ankles. What I'd like you to do is just split stance just a little bit. And you're going to bend your knees and come up. Now, I know this is knees and hips too, but I want you to feel this in the back ankle. As you come down, you should feel a little stretch there. Good, down and up. Now both arms, nice and big, forward and out. Excellent. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now settle down into this and hold. Extend your front foot forward a little more, and we're going to tap the toe down, down, down. With that, pump the arms, push, push, push. So we're getting that dorsiflexion of the ankle on the right foot, starting to activate the muscle pump, really firing the tibialis anterior in the shin. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Switch feet. A little small split stance, parallel feet, down and up, down and up. Now my weight is pretty evenly distributed, but I've got a fair amount of my weight in the back foot because that's the ankle I'm thinking about flexing there. Now make the arms bigger if you'd like. And that's all dependent on your range of motion and your shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now hold it down, pull the toes up and tap, 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 tap. Pump, pump, pump the arms. Push, push. Good. And really feeling it in that shin on the left side. Nice. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Start your dead arms. Pivot on the foot, side to side. You can pick that foot completely off the floor, or you can just spin on the ball of the foot. Good. Now bring this into our golf swing. Side to side, pivoting that heel up. Add a fascia slap under the armpit to activate the lymph nodes there. Side to side. Good. 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Back to your little hops, bounces up and down. And then make a little cupping action around the top of the head, behind the head, just nice little fascia taps. Down the back of the neck. We've got some lymph movement up here behind the back of the head. Good. And right arm. Now, if it's too much to keep your bounces, just stay steady and do this without the bounces. That's fine. Good. And left arm. Nice. This should really make you feel energized this morning. Okay, stop. Slightly flex at your hips. We're going to take the hands right in the hip crease. Little slaps right there. The lymph fluid flows through this area. Good. And then make a light fist and take it right on the outside of the glutes, in the medial glute area. Then we are going to take this down the outside of the legs slowly. So bend your knees. You're coming kind of right down the IT band. If you feel comfortable bending even further forward, take it onto the outside of the lower leg. And then start to work your way back up. Outside of the thighs. Outside of the glutes. Fronts of the hip crease. Good. And relax. Nice. Great energizing warm up this morning. So take hold of your yoga strap for me. So a couple weeks ago, we did some of these, and I want to make sure that they're not bothersome to your shoulders. So we're not going to do as many as we did a couple weeks ago. But what we're going to do is extend the arms back and then lower down. And your hands can be any width on the yoga strap. And then your option is to add releve. Let's do this in split stance. This is going to help with our balance a little bit. So we're going to lift up on the toes and lower down. Lift and lower. Just a few, maybe 4 more, and only come up to a comfortable range. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Good. If you need to set the strap down and not use it, that's great too. Or maybe take the hands a little wider. Come into your opposite split stance position and lift the arms back. And the balance is just an option as well. If you're struggling keeping your balance by lifting your heels up, don't have to necessarily do that piece. And let's just get 4 more on this side. Make sure your shoulder girdle is not elevating, so keep the lats engaged and the shoulders down. Gentle range of motion. 2 more. And 1. Ooh, all right. Set that yoga strap down. Now your option with the next flow is to add light hand weights. And what I have is 3s. You don't have to use any weights at all to do this movement. So I want you to, I'm turning sideways so you can see my body side. I want you to tap your right foot to the floor. We'll step back into warrior 1 with that right foot and then extend the arms back behind you. Pause here. So we're in a nice airplane arms chest expansion. Then tap back in with that right foot, letting your arms lower. An option to do a little bicep curl or maybe a front shoulder raise. Or if you're not using weights, just bring your hands to heart center. And then we'll step that right foot back. Warrior 1, airplane arms, tap in, maybe add a bicep curl or a front raise. And we can also lift the knee up and do a single leg stance. So let's do 3 more. With or without weights, step back, warrior 1. Step in, any arm movements that you'd like. Option to lift the knees. The knee, not both of them. 2 more. Step back, open the heart. Step forward. If you need help with balance, just tap your toe to the floor. Any arms is great. 1 more time, step back. Let's take a big inhale here. Breathe in and step in. relax. Now, before we switch feet, you might need to hold on to something for this stretch, but I want you to take your right foot and turn your toes over and just stand there. And maybe do a couple of box breaths or anything else you'd like to do with your arms, but I just want you to hold a stretch for the top of the ankle, foot, and toes on that right leg. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot in my left shin and calf. It's doing a lot to support me here. Okay, so let's rest and tap your left foot. I'm going to turn around this way so you can see. Tap the left foot to the floor. Step back into warrior one. Lift the arms back, airplane arms, chest expansion. Tap back in, and maybe a bicep curl or a front raise or just hands at your heart. And then step back. Inhale. Step in, option to add a single leg stance for balance. And step back, open the heart. Keep the abdominals really braced though. Step in. 2 more on this side. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. And then pause. Take that left foot, turn it over so your toes are down. So this for me is a big balance challenge to have my foot turned this way. So I'm going to take my finger and just put it on the wall next to me. And I really feel the right calf and shin working hard to support my body here. Any breath pattern you'd like to do, maybe a couple of box breaths, anything with your arms. And just a nice gentle pressure on the top of that foot, not too forceful. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Great job. Okay, I'm going to save my hand weights over here on top of the chair to use here in just a second. Let's take a nice big step forward with our right foot, our left foot way back into a high crescent lunge. Now, if the high crescent lunge is bothersome on your back foot, let your heel drop down and do a warrior one. And we'll take the arms and open into goalpost arms. Look to the right. Come back to center with the head. Let the hands close in at the heart. Open into goalpost arms. Retract your shoulder blades. Look to the left. Challenging for balance. Look forward and close the palms together. Good. Now reach down to your chair. And we're going to place both feet flat on the floor, parallel, for a pyramid pose. Now, if this is too deep to have your hands on the bottom of the chair, turn your chair around so that you can have your hands up here, so that you're not quite as deep. And then we're just going to take this slowly to your comfortable edge to stretch the hamstring. And then our option here, either with or without weights, is a reverse fly. So I'm going to turn to face toward you for just a second. So we have our weights, we're in pyramid, and we're going to open the arms out and down. Now, if this is too stressful on your shoulders, watch the option. Pull the elbows up and down. If the arm work is too strenuous, you just keep your arms on the chair, your hands on the chair, and support yourself through this hamstring stretch. And I do feel a little bit of a calf stretch also in the back foot. Make sure your front knee's not locked out. And if you don't have weights, you can still take a nice big chest expansion and really contract the upper back muscles. Let's do one more of those arm movements. Everything is optional here. Do what feels best for your body. And then soften that front knee. Rise up, set your weights down if you have them. And then let's switch sides. We'll have the left foot in front. We'll step the right foot way back into high crescent lunge. And again, when your heel is up, it puts pressure on your toes. So if that doesn't feel good, let your heel drop and do warrior one. It's also a little bit more accommodating for your balance when your entire foot is on the floor. So our palms are at heart center. We want to have our hips squared. Tighten your back glute to release the hip flexor. Open the arms out into goalpost arms. Look to the left. Look center. Close the palms in. Goalpost arms. Look to the right. Look center. Close the palms in. Let's do it one more time, and let's do it with the box breath. So open out to goalpost. Inhale. As you hold the breath, look right or left. As you look forward, exhale. And as you close your palms, hold the breath. One more time. Inhale, open. Hold the breath. Look the opposite direction. Bring the head forward to exhale. Hands closed, hold the breath. Great job. Okay, let's reach down to the chair. Flip that foot over so both of your feet are flat and parallel. And let's find your pyramid pose on this side. So again, I want this stretch to be moderate. So if this is really stressful for you, come up here. I just want you to feel a nice, gentle stretch down the back of your leg. You can be up high and still do the reverse fly. So if you're using weights, let's take hold of those and either open the arms directly out or pull the elbows up and back. And just think about a little pencil right between your shoulder blades. When you bring your arms up and back, try to pinch that little pencil right between the scapula. Check in, make sure your abs are engaged, and you've got that good cervical placement of the chin for neutral head alignment. Little soft bend in the front knee. Let's do a couple more of these, or just hold on to the chair for a couple of breaths. And last one. Then soften that knee to rise up and step into a mountain pose. We're going to come into down dog, either using your chair or coming all the way down to the mat. So take a nice big breath in, stretch. Exhale, hands can find the floor or all the way down to the mat. Walk your feet back into a great downward dog. So I do love the chair for this for a lot of good reasons. It's kinder on the wrists and the shoulders. I still get a great stretch for my lats and the backs of my legs. So either holding here or walking all the way back on the mat, let's lift one heel up and push the other heel down. And then switch. So sometimes this is called walking the dog. We're in our down dog and it seems like we're kind of walking along here, pedaling out our feet. Stretching through the calf, the Achilles tendons. And when the heel comes up, you can also stretch into the bones of the toes. And the plantar fascia goes all the way up there. Let's do one more on each side. And then drop both heels down for just one more breath. And then we'll start to walk our feet back towards our hands. Hands can be to the chair. Soften the knees and roll your spine up. And then just pause for a moment, check in. How did that little sequence feel? All the stretching and releasing of the fascia. We'll come into standing bird dog. So I'd like for you to stand on your right foot first. Bring that foot forward. Bring both fingertips down to the chair, either the base of the chair or the back of the chair. And lift your left leg up. Square your hips. This is Warrior 3 modification. And then we want to have opposite hand and foot in contact with something. So your right foot's on the floor, your left hand is on the chair, and let's reach the right hand out. Now our posture should be really neutral here. So try not to look up. If you're trying to look at the screen on your computer, that might take your head out of alignment. So your eyes are looking directly down at the chair here. Now, if you really wanted to challenge your balance, you can come up just to your fingertips of your left hand on the chair, or even take your left hand off the chair completely for a count or 2. Flex your back foot. Flex, flex, flex. And then let's release the hand and the foot down and around the spine and come up. Check in. What did you feel? For me, it was my standing leg. My hip was really working. And that ankle and shin. So now we'll lead with the left foot forward. Bring the hands down to your chair. Square the hips. Lift that leg up behind you. Flex your foot. Your toes should be pointing down to the mat, not turned out. That way your thigh is in alignment. Your hips are squared. And now our left hand comes off the chair, reaches forward. If that feels okay for your shoulder, it doesn't have to be reaching out at that angle. It just is the typical bird dog position is what we see, but make that feel comfortable for you. And then maybe you can take your right hand off the chair as well. This side is better for me to balance. Scoop your abs in. Great. Let's return to the earth with the foot and the chair with the hands. Soften your knees, roll up. Then roll those shoulders back, reset the spine. So if you would prefer to stay standing, we're going to do bird dog one more time. Or if you'd like to come down to your mat, to your hands and knees, to your typical bird dog, let's do that as well. And I'm going to give you the option to use hand weights this time in your bird dog. So if you want to add those, just have them at the ready. Come down to your hands and knees. And you can add them if you're using the chair for standing bird dog as well. So what I'd like for you to do is this time we'll send the left leg straight back. And your option will be to pick up your hand weight in your right hand, pull your elbow up, and then you can stay here steady, or you can add 10 tricep kickbacks. And that is just an option. Do your regular bird dog if that feels better for you today. Square your hips, flex your back foot. Counting on your own for 10, or if you want to do a few more or a few less, it's just a number. I have 4 to go. And 3. Neutral head position 2. Now hold that arm straight on the last one, and we'll stay here 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, working the back of the shoulder. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that weight down. Bring your left knee to the floor, and we'll do a thread the needle to stretch. So the hand you used with the weight, we inhale that up and then slide it down, and we'll hold a stretch here. Just take any options with your left hand that feels nice. You can wrap that behind the back. You can reach it way up toward the top of your mat. Just find a nice stretch for you. And today I'm feeling this so much more right underneath my right shoulder blade here. It's a really good stretch today. Okay, let's rise up. If you'd like, you can lift the right arm up one more time for one more twist. And then find hands and knees. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see my left arm. So now we first find a good neutral spine before you take your leg back. So you've got a really good solid tabletop. Then your right leg goes back. Level off your hips, flex that back foot. Option to take a light weight and lift your elbow up. And then 10 tricep kickbacks, slow and controlled. Make sure you're not swinging the weight forward toward your shoulder. You're stopping at about 90 degrees. And then fine tune your posture here. Are those abs zipped up and connected? Is your head position neutral? Are you breathing? I've got 4 to go. Really feel that tricep working. 3, as that elbow comes into extension. 2. Now let's hold that arm up. Hold and breathe 10 seconds. Make modifications if your right shoulder is bothering you. You can come to your elbow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return. Release the weight. Take thread the needle with that left arm. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, feed it through. Just try to relax here. If your head doesn't find the floor, it's nice to slide a block underneath it, or your light Pilates ball works nice as a little pillow. You could do a box breath here. And then slide that right hand underneath you to press up. Option to take one more arm raise. And then down again to all fours. We'll come into Anahatasana, which is a chest expansion, a heart opener. So our knees and our hips stay on the same plane. We don't come back like a child's pose. This is also known as puppy pose because it's like a down dog, but you're from your knees. So walk your hands forward and then bring your head or your chest down any amount and really stretch your lats here. Be really careful of your shoulders. Make sure you're in a comfortable place here as we stretch the lats. And then pull yourself back up. Walk the hands back in and then set your elbows down to the floor. Interlace your fingers together. Come into a child's pose with your elbows on the mat. And then bend your elbows to bring your hands kind of behind the back of your neck. So I have my hands touching in prayer. I have the elbows bent. And then you can kind of crawl your elbows forward a little bit more until you feel a good stretch in your triceps. I'm trying to remember now. Did we do a lot of tricep work on Tuesday? I don't recall if we did, but my triceps are really sore, especially my left one for some reason. I'll have to check in with you in the chat to see if you're feeling what I'm feeling. All right, and then straighten those arms back out. Walk your hands in. We're going to do a yin pose for the feet called toe squat. And I really have a hard time doing this now because of my knee arthritis. So actually, I'm going to grab 2 blocks here because I have to support myself to do toe squat. So what toe squat looks like is we want to curl our toes under. So you can see here that I've got my toes tucked under. And then if you have the ability to hold this and sit down, I just can't do it anymore with my right knee. I'm going to have to really pop this up so I can show you how I'm doing this. So I've got 2 blocks stacked so I can sit up like this. Wow, I used to be able to sit all the way down on my heels, but I'm not going to go there. That was a different body. And you can also just keep your hands down and then just sit back any amount that you can do that. And I know this is an intense pose, so let's only hold it about another 10 seconds. Sometimes the little toe doesn't want to get curled under. You almost have to curl it there manually. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay, I'm going to remove my blocks here. And then turn your toes back over. And then what we're going to do is slightly lift your knees off the floor and stretch the tops of your feet. Now, this does require shoulder stabilization. So if this is too much for your shoulders, set your knees back down and then just do one leg. Kind of stretch the top of the foot. And then after a couple of breaths, you can do the other leg. I'm trying to remember what this pose is called. It's something like garland pose or something like that. So it is an arm balance to some degree and stretching the top of the feet. All right, let's relax that down. Great work. Okay, adjust yourself to turn and sit on your mat. Now, we've been kind of talking about our boat pose and how we can modify boats so that you don't have any lower back pain. On Tuesday, I gave you options sitting in. Come on in, buddy. I gave you options sitting in your chair. So if you know, oh, that's going to be me, get up and sit in your chair now. Because what it does when you're sitting in your chair is it lowers your knees down, because you can see how high my knees are up. When our knees are up really high, it puts a lot of flexion on your hip. When you're sitting in a chair, you don't have as much of this flexion. So that's going to be helpful to your low back. So either from your chair or sitting, I just want you to lean back and hold. So we talked about on Tuesday that when we lean back with a straight back position, it pulls on the hip flexors a lot. So if you're feeling that, I want you to round your spine like a C curve and hold it here. So this is what we would do in Pilates versus yoga, is we'd create this C curve. It eases tension on the lower back and it helps to work the rectus abdominis more than the hip flexors. Now you can also hold back here if you're sitting on the floor. Take breaks whenever you need, as I'm just talking you through some of these options. Good, and then come up and take a break. Any stretch you want to do, I'm going to separate my feet. You can do that sitting in the chair as well. And I'm going to fold through the center almost like a happy baby. You can reach to the floor if you're sitting in your chair, and let's stretch out the lower back. So now, if you're the person that's in the chair because you have some lower back issues, I would like you to come down and lay on your back on the mat. I'm going to give you a second to come down. If you're doing pretty good sitting, then you're going to stay. I'm going to show both options here. I'll start with the seated position first. So you're either here with me or you're laying on your back, your knees are bent and your feet are on the mat. And all we're going to do is march the feet slowly. So your right foot comes up and your left foot comes up. So same thing if you're laying on your back. Right foot comes up, left foot comes up. So what changed when I laid on my back? This flexion of the hip is less. So this is a little easier on your low back. If you're on your back, I want you to press your back down toward the floor. If you're sitting up, you can keep that C curve, march and march. Good. Let's take a break. If you're on your back, let your knees open to Baddha Konasana. If you're sitting up, same thing. Let your knees open to Baddha Konasana and we'll take a break. These both can be done. This pose can be done either seated or on your back. So I'm just going to give you one more variation that is harder. You're either going to be laying on your back for this or seated. And if this one